Welcome back. I'm sure you've heard about this. The engagement heard around the world after 2 years of dating. The engagement announcement from Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. It nearly broke the internet. But before the wedding planning can begin, other conversations need to happen as well. Each is bringing a lot to their marriage. She's worth an estimated $1.6 billion. His worth is valued at as much as $90 million. Even the American Bar Association is chiming in on this love story, saying there's no better time to take a look at the most romantic part of any marriage, the prenup. But those agreements are not just for mega millionaires and billionaires. Here's what we should know with certified financial planner Shinobu Hindert. Shinobu, welcome back. Good to see you.
Great to see you, Hena.
I've been hearing the term prenup so much since this engagement was announced. But before we get to prenuptial agreements, when is the right time to talk to your partner when it comes to finances?
The earlier, the better. You want to do this well before you're talking prenups, before there's a wedding date set. And you can just start having an open conversation, share your financial background, how you view money, what financial security means to you. And it's important to share your money values. You can talk about what you learned when you were growing up, how you prioritize spending and saving. This will build trust and create space for these deeper planning conversations. When you have that foundation in place, when you're talking about prenups, it's really an extension of that conversation, not a confrontation that's uncomfortable. It shows a shared commitment to financial transparency.
How common are prenups? Because I would not get defensive, but I can see people getting defensive if they are offered a prenup.
It's really interesting. So there was a survey in 2022 by the Harris poll that showed 15% of married or engaged Americans have a prenup, which is up from 3% in the early 2000s. And millennials and Gen Z are leading the way. So nearly 40% of those prenups are held by people that are under the age of 35. So it's really not just for these ultra wealthy celebrities anymore.
Right. Well, that's interesting. You know, under the age of 35, they're still building their career. They just, you know, you would imagine not have that much money as of yet. Why do you think prenups have become so popular?
Well, a 2024 report from the LawDepot.com shows that 69% of people surveyed are open to signing one. And here's really why. People are getting married later on in life, and they're bringing assets to the table. This could be established businesses and even debt. Second marriages are also more common, and prenups are used to protect children from their parents' relationships. And then student debt's a really big factor here. Many prenups include terms on how to handle debt, not just the assets. And then financial awareness and transparency is trendy now. So these aren't these ick conversations that couples need to have. It's really about sharing financial intimacy as well, too.
You mentioned debt, and I think a lot of people forget that many people do bring student loans or mortgages into new marriages or new relationships. You alluded to this a minute ago. Prenups are not just for the Taylors and the Travises of the world. So first I want to ask, what does a prenup actually do? What safety does it provide?
A prenup is a legal agreement that's signed before your marriage, and it outlines how finances will be handled in the event of divorce or even death. So it can cover the division of assets and debts, spousal support, and treatment of future earnings or business growth.
Who needs a prenup? You mentioned it doesn't have to be the billionaires and millionaires. You know, if it's those people that are worried about sharing their wealth, even millennials and Gen Zers, like you mentioned, but the debt as well.
That's exactly right. I think it's important to consider whether or not you have a prenup. If you own a business, if you own any real estate, let's say you have significant investments that you've built that foundation for. Maybe you've received an inheritance or you expect to receive an inheritance at some time during your marriage. Or if you're entering the marriage with substantial debt or your partner has substantial debt, it's nice to outline that. And especially if you have children from a previous marriage, you want to use that to protect it. So the average cost of a prenup is around $8,000 per couple, according to a study by HelloPrenup.com. But that really actually depends on the complexity of your finances.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.